All right, hello everyone. Hello, hello. The time is now 3:47 on Friday the 23rd. Hope everyone's doing well. We've made it basically through another week. It's been pretty active and we still do have some showers and downpours on the radar right now. It's not still as active as it was yesterday. It's really just a thin band. These are really just kind of some pop-up storms through the afternoon. That upper level low has been fueling some storms out, but drier air is filtering in, which means tonight is really the last night of getting some of these storms. So hello everyone. If you're watching on any of our social media, come say hello in the comments. If you have any questions, chatting about life, it's nice to see you all. This weekend though, it's looking much better, so that is some good news in terms of the weekend forecast, that it's looking a lot better. But here's kind of the radar right now. We just had the downpour that came through downtown Macon and it looked pretty intense with blinding rain. The visibility was incredibly low. There's just so much moisture in the atmosphere right now that it's just easy to get some of these downpours and it just drops a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So I hope everyone's doing well. It still was a bit of a humid day today, but it wasn't that bad. It was pretty nice. Otherwise, oh, I'm not logged in. That sucks. Hopefully this will let me log in. Yeah, so on the radar right now, that just moved down through downtown Macon, now is pushing further eastward, Dry Branch over towards Gordon and Ivy, northern Twiggs County into Wilkinson County, getting some of this heavy downpours, but it is more of a line, kind of that's congealed as these storms have been firing through. So right now it's really stretching over Sandersville, down through McIntyre, Twiggs County, now pushing through Warner Robins and Perry. Also just got hit by this heavy downpour that's pushing through, but not a lot of rain for tonight. It's just going to be that hit or miss kind of thing. We will have a few of the storms that are popping up, hit or miss here or there, but it's really not going to be an all-out rain for the rest of tonight. So that is some good news. Oh, hopefully this will come through my watch. Actually, will it come through my watch? It did. Yay. I'm getting the Facebook up now, so if anyone said hello, I'm saying hi back. I want to see your names and your faces. But the weekend is looking much brighter. Just know if you do have a downpour that's going to be moving over you, these kind of storms are headed eastward, but notice there's not anything behind it, so it's just going to be this isolated pop-up storms really for the rest of the evening until the sun begins to go down, and then the storms will kind of lose their energy and we won't be dealing with any rain. And it's finally over. We have been getting hit with showers and storms day after day after day, and it's finally looking better. So it's looking amazing. Hi Karen, how are you? Thanks for being here. Hey Corinne, thanks for watching from Milledgeville. Yeah, so today's the last day of having the heavy downpours that really are popping up. The weekend is looking much better. Do you have something for me? Oh yeah, I just loaded it up. We're good. Thank you though.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
So yeah, we just got that heavy downpour. I wonder if I could, yeah, that's okay. So notice here on satellite and radar, this is what it looks like, more of a wider view. Most of the showers and storms have now pushed off the coast, as that's really where the bulk of the moisture is, but we've gotten a few of the pop-up storms today and enough of that influence from the upper level low that we're still getting some of these pop-up storms and showers around, plus we have a lot of the daytime heating, normal kind of summer for this. But when I kind of widen this view out, the upper level low has now pushed well off to the north. It's spinning. You kind of see that spin in the atmosphere up here, and that's going to pull all of the moisture with it. So we're not going to have to deal with any of these heavy downpours really for the weekend. We could maybe possibly have a small shower or storm for the weekend, but otherwise it's looking really nice. Just going to have that humid air, but since, you know, we're in that summertime pattern, there's just so much humidity and we get a lot of that sunshine. Sometimes the air just kind of rises and creates some of those storms, but not going to have any activity like we're having today. So it's going to be pretty nice for this weekend. Temperature wise, it doesn't feel too bad out there. Now it's 79 degrees in Macon, so it's a rain cooled 79. Currently 82 in Irvington, 88 in McRae, a little bit warmer, 84 in Monticello, but you can really see where some of that rain has really come through. 79 right now in Fort Valley and only 81 in Warner Robins. So it's not going to be showering storms all night if you're any of your Friday evening plans. It will be relatively nice. A great night to go out. 65 degrees for the overnight low, so it's pretty seasonable standards. Again, we could have maybe an isolated pop-up storm. The rain chances really can't be zero, but we're not going to really be seeing much. The bigger story for this weekend is going to be about all the abundant sunshine, and that humidity will really be staying in place. Even once that moisture kind of gets taken out, we'll still be having dew points in the mid to upper 60s, even into the low 70s. So straight through the weekend, we're still feeling a little more humid, and even for next week, we're almost towards that sweltering category. So we're really getting into the summertime pattern. But if you are headed for a day in the lake tomorrow, it's looking really nice. Of course, grab the sunscreen. We start with temperatures in the 60s, climb up into the 80s by lunchtime, going for a high of 92 degrees for tomorrow. We'll have a westerly wind, which could warm us up pretty significantly, but it's not going to be breezy tomorrow. It's going to be pretty nice. And something actually really interesting that's happening is right now we have two storms in the Atlantic right now. We have Tropical Storm Brett, and now we have Tropical Storm Cindy in the month of June. This is actually very rare this early on in the hurricane season that we have two storms out there. This hasn't happened since 1968, 55 years ago, that we had two tropical storms in June. So it's been a while since we've seen this setup go on. I think the main reason to do with this is the Atlantic waters, really all of the ocean waters, are unprecedentedly warm right now. It's shattering all records. The Atlantic Ocean is warmer than it's ever been to this date by a long shot, and that's really being able to fuel a lot of these storms. You know, hurricanes, when they're over warm water, they kind of feed off the warm ocean water to kind of help pick up their storms. And when you have the warm ocean water, it helps to fuel some of the storms. Luckily, they're not going to be intensifying that much as they're heading into an area of high wind shear. And wind shear is normally good for severe storms to be firing up, but it's bad for hurricanes in terms of tropical development. It cuts off the top of them. So likely both of these will be staying a tropical storm over the next few days before kind of weakening back down into a remnant low and down to a depression. Cindy could be heading towards the American coastline, but it's still several days away, and it's not going to be intensifying. We'll keep an eye on that as Brett kind of will stay here in the southern Caribbean Sea and before weakening as well. But that wind shear is really going to be kind of cutting off the storms, and that's really going to be the trend for the rest of the hurricane season, as we do have that El Nino in effect, which usually means there's more wind shear over the kind of the Caribbean, which cuts off the top of the storms. So hope it gets rid of all the pollen. I know it's true. Rain does help in the short term with pollen, especially with kind of the ones that aren't mold, any kind of the tree or the grass pollen is really great for the rain to wash that away. But even after kind of maybe a day or so, the mold pollen can really actually be higher because of the rain, kind of that damp environment. It can sometimes actually aggravate it, but in the short term, rain is definitely always a good thing for pollen, especially washing it off your car. Hi, Sherelle. How are you? How are you doing? Hey, Marvin. Watching from Rutland. Hi, Sandra. Had a downpour a little bit ago. Muggy now. Yeah. Same. We just had that just push through Macon. And those will continue to kind of push further to the east. So a little update back here on the radar. Just kind of show you what's going on. Once again, this did push through Macon, and now it is kind of pushing out. These are pushing towards the east still. Not everyone is seeing the rain, and the good news is that it's not really going to be raining for a while. It'll be raining for 25 minutes here, maybe half an hour. So it's going to be a quick downburst of rain. It just pushed over Warner Robins and Perry. Now it's pushing into Twiggs County, down to Pulaski County. This is probably going to push over to Dublin, kind of riding along I-16 here, pushing towards Sandersville and McIntyre here over the next little bit. And there's not a lot of lightning associated. You might hear a rumble of thunder or two, but there's really not going to be any widespread showers or storms tonight. Hopefully, we may get a few more storms again that fire up, but we're not going to have a lot, especially after this kind of line pushes through. Hopefully, that'll rain out a lot of the ingredients needed, but we are kind of getting this line that's pushing through. So if you have those Friday evening plans, I wouldn't worry too much about rain, but you could see a pop-up shower or a storm that moves on by for the rest of tonight. But otherwise, weather shouldn't be impacting really your weekend as a whole. It is going to be looking really nice for the weekend. So let me show you the 10-day to show you really what's going on for the weekend. It's looking really nice. We had to deal with all these rain and storms for the past few days, but that upper level low is getting kicked out of here. Drier air is filtering in. So tomorrow it's seasonable and sunny. It's going to be hot. Our average high is 92. So it's seasonable for June standards tomorrow with a high of 92, but it's sunny. It's really nice, comfortable. Any of your plans really for the weekend is looking pretty nice. On Sunday, it's hotter, 94 degrees, and it still is humid at times, really both days of the weekend, but it'll be muggy. The next biggest chance of rain looks to be pushing through Monday night with some gusty thunderstorms. This looks to be a cold front that'll be pushing through that brings down some of those heavy downpours. 93 degrees will be the high really for the afternoon, and then that evening, once that front pushes in, that could adjust really either direction, but that's kind of the next bullseye that we're watching for some rain. And then on Tuesday, we're back to being breezy and bright, 92 degrees. But really, that's the only day for some rain chances. It's kind of backwards of what it was last week, how really every day this week we had a really good amount of rain chances. For most of next week, it's looking mostly dry, so that's really nice. 92s though, 96 next Friday, so it's heating back up. But really, the next big chance of rain will be coming on Monday night. Also, this is the first weekend of summer, which is awesome. If anyone has any plans or anything, feel free to share them. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend, but if you have any plans for the first weekend of summer, you of course want to grab the sunscreen because it's going to be a hot one. And sunscreen, I tell you, that is my best friend. Having that sunburn, it's just, my body can't handle it. You know, having a sunburn, it's just so uncomfortable to have a sunburn, and then you peel for a while, and it's never really a great thing. So sunscreen is always the best option, especially for the kids. And the sunglasses and I have a nice straw hat that goes all the way around. Really, it's great. We love the sun, but you know, you always want to protect against it as well. Really, the worst thing is the sunburn. That is always kind of the worst thing about it, but that's really what's going on right now. We did have the flood watch that was in effect through tonight, but now the National Weather Service has kind of expired this for our area with that drier air filtering in. So that is some good news, is that we're not really expecting any more kind of flooding or flash flooding, but these storms that are still pushing through could bring some heavy downpours. So this is what it looks like on the water vapor satellite. This really shows the moisture in the air, kind of these purples, greens, that's a lot of the moisture, but these browns and the oranges, that's dry air. So notice how it's kind of filtering into our area. So that's some good news. And that swirl here, that's that upper level low as it continues to push north and track the moisture out of here. So the weekend's looking really nice for any of those plans. Otherwise, that's really kind of what's happening in the weather world. I hope you guys have a great weekend if I don't chat with you again. So I'll leave the radar up here once again. These storms continue to head kind of, if you live south and east of Macon, you may get hit with a downpour here over the next 2 hours or so, probably at the latest. But there will be some isolated showers and storms for the rest of tonight, but then the weekend is looking much better. So I hope you have a great weekend if I don't chat with you again. Otherwise, I will have a full report on WGXA News at 5, on Fox 24, and on ABC 16 at 6. And on ABC 16 at 11 o'clock tonight as well. Plus, we're doing our live stream on YouTube at 5:30. Those always have some awesome stories, so come and check us out there as well. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night and a great weekend.